to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. You know, I'm here with some exciting news, beloveds, and more of a confirmation. You know, the worlds have separated. As I always say, spirit creates reality. Our minds create our experience. And right now, beloveds, the worlds have separated. There are those who are still in the Babylon world and the Babylon reality. And there are those of us who are literally in the new world right here, right now. And, you know, after the break, I'll definitely go into, you know, a couple of signs that you can know that you have entered the new earth. Because it's right here. It's crazy because it's a mental split. You see, Babylon wants us to think it's a physical thing. And so anything we're seeing physically, we're all connected physically. But no, it's a mental split. And it's becoming more and more evident who is in Babylon and who is in the new earth. And I'll definitely, because there's so many significant signs. Those of us who are in the new earth are getting younger. We're getting stronger. Abundance is flowing to us. We're building our homes. We're just in a different flow, even mentally. But for many beloveds, the thing that created this split was the pandemic and everything that came with it and the lockdowns. And this has really split families on whether to get the jab or not. It has really divided families right down the middle. But you will recognize that those who bought into the mainstream media fear and propaganda, right now, they are so deep in that. That's all they talk about. Anytime they call you, they're always saying, oh, so-and-so has died from this, and so-and-so has died from the same thing, and this is happening, and that's their whole reality is that. We're locked down, this is happening, that is happening, we can't get this, the government did this. That's their reality. But for others, who, you know, were graced by the wisdom and presence of their ancestors and they saw for themselves, or they just came in with a strong enough spirit and they saw for themselves what has happened and they started preparing. Many are now close to finishing their arcs, or they're actually moving into their arcs ahead of time. And so the world is splitting, and the way we know it is because it's just, you can even feel it in the vibration, beloveds. The world is splitting because now there are two mental realities that have taken shape here. Remember the law of mentalism, beloveds. Our thoughts create our experience. What is behind this, the spiritual, is what is orchestrating the physical. And in the spiritual realm, the ancients came back, the ancestors came back, the spiritual battle, you know, was battled out. Can I put it like that? And victory was ours. And now it's like penetrating to this level. But because of that, you know, even though we can't see them, there are many, many spiritual beings here amongst us, beloveds, here to assist us. Some are in the physical form and some are still in the spiritual form, but that is changing the frequency. And so for some, they're moving further and further and further and further away from the Babylon mind, which is the Babylon reality. Because the way Babylon hooks you is when you believe in Babylon. And just the fact that you see the lie and you don't believe in Babylon anymore, just the fact that you've done your history, their history, you've looked into their history and seen the manipulation and looked into our story and seen the manipulation, you just can't buy into it mentally anymore. And that's what sets you free, because that other world is coming, and it's the group think of that other world is growing exponentially. Like more and more people are creating that new mind, because we need that new mind in order to create the new earth, beloveds. The new earth is a new mentality, literally. And I have found in my own walk, like especially when I talk to certain friends and family who are still in the city, like our minds are so different. Theirs are filled with fear, and almost it's like a hypnosis. And if you notice now, it's like there's a barrier. Like they can't get to you with what they think their truth is, and you can't get to them with what you think your truth is. It's like now there's that divide where everyone must judge for themselves. And someone emailed me the other day and said, it's funny because it's like those who have been saved are the ones who have been given the gift of discernment to know what time it is. And they just have to be brave to know that the same spirit that brought them that truth and exposed the lie is the same spirit that will bring them out of the lie safely. And the lie is multiple, beloveds. It's multitudinal, if that's even a word. It has layers upon layers upon layers. Right down from who is God and who you are. Know thyself, and thyself shall set you free. But the new world is here, beloveds. And it's growing as more of us move into experiencing it. We expand the space for it, and mentally and spiritually, it expands. Even those who are dreaming of this new world, who are envisioning themselves, that you might still be in Babylon, but you see yourself in the new earth, in the new experience, in an alternative story, in an alternative narrative. We are creating that narrative. You also contribute to creating that narrative with your energy. And what it means is that spiritually you're there. And you have to understand, and understand that where you go spiritually, your body has to find a way there. Your body has to follow. Like that is just one of the universal rules. So it's always so important to take yourself there spiritually and dwell there spiritually like it actually exists. And I think this is some of the prosperity teachings. Fake it till you make it kind of thing. But see that as your only alternative, and it will become your reality. Your body must, your physical must manifest what your spiritual knows. Let's take a short break. When we come back, I'll talk about, how do you know that you're in this new earth? Because I bet many of you are already there and don't even know it. Let's take a short break.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Welcome back, beloveds, to Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Seraki. So yeah, many of us are already in this new earth, the new world, heaven on earth, the 1,000 years of the golden age. We're already living that. We're already in the golden age, beloveds. Because the spirit has come, and enough of a space is now being created for you to be able to exist and live in that reality as an alternative. As I always say, the law of mentalism, our thoughts, our collective thoughts create our collective reality. But enough of us have done the necessary spiritual work where we are now holding fort, or holding the space, holding the vibration for an alternative reality. And you'll notice that you just move into it. And it's not like we're collectively holding hands doing this, but each of us with our spiritual team are being guided. It's like a massive chessboard where every piece, or every ant is moving like a massive anthill, where every ant is doing their thing, and it's creating this massive new reality or new empire, beloveds. Enough of us have awakened, and you see, because many in the Babylon system are so weak, they're kept weak spiritually. Those of us who are doing the spiritual work easily override those who are in the Babylon system. But you'll notice when you interact with certain family members and friends that you're just in two different worlds. You almost don't want to share how blissfully happy you are and how amazing your life is, how you're literally living your best life. And for those who are in the system, it's because it's a global hypnosis. It's an MK Ultra programming that is being done through the mainstream media and the social media, beloveds. And you attract who you are, you attract your thoughts. And there are people now, because we've been taught with these mobile phones, people will wake up and get on their phone and immediately be hypnotized to the reality that Babylon wants them to believe, because you're using Babylon's gadgets. Our gadgets are more natural, and they require you to do more attuning they may initially require more work, but it's blissful work, beloved. So how do you know that you're in the 1,000 golden years already, that you're in the new earth? Number one, your health will tell you. Like, you've never felt better than ever, the better than you do right now. You've never looked as good. Your health is popping. You're feeling healthy, like anything, different dietary needs and herbs and everything, and healing modalities are coming to you. There's a Patreon family who even told me that a certain god of healing from Egypt, she had a long time ailment, and when she started walking on her spiritual journey and awakening, one of the gods of Egypt, who was the god of medicine and healing, actually appeared to her and gave her the recipe for her healing, and she took it and she healed. I mean, that's how like, so number one, your health is either improving or it's never been as good as it is right now. Like, you feel strong, you feel really good. Like, nothing about what's happening in the pandemic is freaking you out. Number two is your life seems to have taken almost like a magical turn, like the way things are happening and falling into place. Whether you're in Babylon trying to get out, trying to get to an off-grid home, whether you're trying to build your place, whether you're prepping this, you feel this almost like serendipitous, synchronicitous vibe where everything is just happening for a reason and every need of yours is being met. But there's this magical kind of, existence that you're having, whereas somehow you're just being moved out of your poverty and lack mentality into a whole new world that you don't even know, you're not even sure of, but it feels good. The third thing is you feel safe. Like, even with absolutely everything going on, you feel safe. You feel like you're not alone. Mostly it's because you've connected to your spiritual team, but you can feel that you're good wherever you are. And you feel calm. Even when, even in the midst of a storm, even when everyone is freaking out, there's a certain calmness that you have to your vibe. And you can't really explain it to anyone, which is why I say at this point, we just have to keep it to ourselves or, to people of like-minded. Another indication that you are in this new earth is that your spiritual life, and it is not how it's defined by any of the books or meditation and you should do this or that, but your spiritual life is getting deeper and it's getting richer. Many right now, because of, the Most High is speaking, many, spirits are speaking to us, our spirit team, our ancestors, where we're from. Many of us are getting downloads. Many of us are channeling, and it's very powerful information, and we're almost channeling the same things. Like, I'm never surprised when I see in the comments people saying, I had that, what you're talking about is exactly what I was talking to my friend about yesterday, or it's exactly what I was meditating on this morning, and then I saw your video. Like, that's how it is. Like, we're all tapping into those higher realms, and the message there is the same, but you just feel like certain things. And another one is that your powers have come online, whether it's your powers of healing or your powers of seeing. And the way you'll notice is that you'll start to heal and see for yourself first. And healing is a great thing. I think as you heal yourself is when you really become the healer that you're meant to be. That is the true lesson, and learning to work with nature. So many people's gifts are coming online, and each of us have very different and a variety of different gifts. Think X-Men. Think what was that? There was a movie where they had all these people with different gifts. I can't remember. Okay, maybe I'll put it in the comments below. But all these superhuman videos, beloveds, movies that were created were about you. But you can start to see how, you know, certain things are just drawn to you. And the final thing is, like let me just finish the spiritual gifts. Yeah, you'll see how certain things, like especially aligned to your gift, are now manifesting to you. You just know certain things, or you find like the spiritual world is teaching you, whether you're a healer, whether you're a seer, your gifts are becoming increasingly more real to you. And it's kind of an exciting feeling. Maybe I'll do a separate thing on how the spiritual gifts are coming online. But finally, it's like you're invisible to the enemy. And it's funny because one of my teachers used to tell me how, sometimes you'd vibe so high. You could vibe so high that you could walk in a city and many people wouldn't even see you because you're on two different frequencies. And that's why we don't see a lot of beings right now here, because of the frequency that humanity is trapped in. We're not at the lowest, but we're low, and we've blocked off the highest. And what you're going to start seeing is the people who are in the Babylon matrix are going to start seeing some very scary beings who are vibrating on the same low level as them. But for us who have been vibrating high and expanding our minds and our souls, we're going to be seeing some wondrous and like magical things unfold in our lives, if they're not already. But literally, you'll see that you'll be invisible. You'll be invisible to the Babylon system and all its agents. They just won't see you anymore. Let me know if there's other things. Are you living in the new earth? Do you feel it? Let me know in the comments below. Tukopamoja.